All right, everyone, welcome back. This is Group 2, Match 1 of BPL 3, and this is Modulo versus XFactor. I am still Volshock, and I still have Zeteo.
Hello.
I think XFactor kind of clutched victory from the jaws of defeat, right? So
Yeah, that was an amazing game.
yeah.
Not anyone can pull that off. What he just did there.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's actually a little scary, right? Because Cirillado was Modulo's pick, so he actually is going to go down on the map that he picked. So XFactor is going to have to, XFactor gets to pick this next map, so he might just close it out 2-0.
Yeah, that's definitely a scary proposition. I mean, there's, we definitely hear of the XFactor build. And there's certain maps that works really well on. So we'll see
and
okay.
That is actually a map that it's incredibly well known on. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, how do you feel about this? I'm actually kind of excited. I almost feel like though XFactor can't. I feel like XFactor might not be able to do the classic XFactor air build on this because it's so iconic for him and on this map that everyone expects it, right?
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. I hear the players loading in, so I think we are.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Modulo overcommits to some defenses.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it, but it did work well in a lot of other games, right? Like the Teddy versus Shoddy series in Qualifier 1. Teddy would literally start like with an LLT before Factory in a lot of games. So yeah. Okay, and all right, Teo, what do we see here?
We see a certain build.
Interesting.
From a certain individual.
What do we think XFactor is gonna do here with this air lab? I wonder. Straight into trans, and Modulo is just a totally standard build here, right? So, and he's in the most standard starting position, so this could be a little bit concerning for XFactor.
Right.
Or sorry, for Modulo, not for XFactor. Yeah. All right, XFactor's transport is coming out. Maybe. Oh, he can't boost it because it doesn't have the E. So 1 minute for his transport. He's going to pick up his commander, and Modulo doesn't have his lab done quite yet. So let's follow the path. He is going right to the base. Modulo probably is prepared for this, though. I mean, he's done it a lot, but let's see. What is XFactor seeing? Where does he land? All right, he sees the tick. He knows it's here. It's right here, so he's going to drop.
Here we go.
D-guns the lab. Oh, his transport dies, though.
But the ticks get some extra damage in, right?
Yeah, the ticks get the flanking damage in. Oh, XFactor's dead here, right? I mean, he's just going to trade.
Yeah, he's totally dead.
There's
no way.
Okay. All right, he's got, I mean, there's no, Modulo has this, right? Even if that LLT finishes, I think he's fine. Okay. 1 minute and 42 seconds.
Well, that'll happen with this build.
Not a lot to break down for that game.
Yeah, not a lot at all.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, that's how you do it. That's the fast, transport build. But it is all in, and if there are units there, you get shut down, and we just saw that.
Yeah, that wow. Okay. Well, not a lot to talk about there. We will see you momentarily. I guess in game 3. Let me see if they're just gonna go straight into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, I think they are. Hold on. They are talking briefly. I think there might be some lamentations from XFactor here about his choice of build, and yeah, I think they're just gonna go straight into it. So we are going back to picks and bans. So Canis River goes to Modulo, which is funny. They both won the other person's map. And now we've got a set of 4 bans coming out, and we're gonna see.
You just kind of called it too, actually. I mean, you even said like, well, he can't really do his build because he's gonna expect it, and he, I don't know if he expected it or not, but he defended it just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think also it's one of those things where earlier on, I think it was probably a little bit more effective potentially, just because it, like people weren't as used to responding to it now. But I think people have experienced it enough that they're kind of used to it. And so they're a little bit more kind of understanding of it.
Yeah, totally.
And that, you know how to respond to it more than anything else. And we see a lot of bans here. Okay, sorry. So Crystallized Plains, Feast of Hades, Fallendell. Wait, what's left in the pool? Heartbreak and what else?
Yep. Shoot, what was it? I have to check maybe.
Yeah, so this is X Factor's pick, and he has to make up his mind. So I don't know what he wants to play on. So there's it's Assidious Crack. So he can choose Assidious Crack, or he can choose what am I missing? Heartbreak Hill.
Yeah.
And he is going to choose Assidious. So here we go. He's going to choose to ban Assidious, which means that we are going to play on Heartbreak Hill. Interesting. Between those two maps, I wonder why he felt like Heartbreak Hill was the map that he wanted to play on with all of those other picks available.
Yeah, I never know what goes through these players' heads. I mean, he just might be more comfortable on it,
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It is. Heartbreak Hill has, well, I guess this BPL not as much, but even in Alpha Cup and in Season 2 of BPL, it was played a lot, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, just having more practice on it.
Yeah. All right, and players are in, so let's stop looking at me and start looking at people's. We've got X Factor and slightly non-standard spawn. Interesting. Modulo. I saw Kuchi spawn north up here the other day, which to me was a little bit of a strange build, just kind of standard deviation.
That was a strange one. I remember, just thinking about like how it's a little more defensive.
Game started.
But yeah, harder to expand outward.
Yeah. All right, so we have X Factor as core. He's going to go 2 mechs, and we don't see anything else from him yet. And a Modulo is also core. I mean, this is kind of prototypically a grunt spam map. In terms of starting positions, though, do you feel like X Factor's is slightly more defensible?
I mean, it kind of depends. I mean, I don't know if I'd really say so, because bots can definitely, go up and down that hill on the right-hand side there. Left-hand side there. And yeah, so it's like it's kind of the same defensible position in a way because of that, but
yeah,
if those vehicles, maybe a little bit more so, since they can't shoot down, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of pulling at straws, to be honest.
I know, it's just kind of interesting. Modulo goes solar to wind, and X Factor leaves his fate to the wind gods, but wind gods are favorable at the moment, right? 13.4. Yep. He's happy. And in terms of starts, we've got 2 cons and 10 grunts queued up. I'm not sure exact order, but it's going to be con first from him. Modulo's lab is a little bit later, and he has 3 cons, 18 grunts, and he's also starting con first. So nothing too different, too exciting here. How do you feel in terms of expansion pass? What do you favor?
I mean, I would favor Modulos. I mean, just like the start gives you the 3 mexes, there's a 4th one and 5th one like right there, whereas X Factor has to walk for them, and maybe that's fine, but I don't know, at the same time, it just feels like it's a lot of movement to go get them.
So X Factor actually opened double con before any grunts, and then his commander is going to go start taking other mexes, which is a little interesting, right? I think that's kind of the standard playstyle, is you just leave your commander in base just for the 300 BP so you can pump out grunts.
Yeah, so one of the differences that you can do is, like, if you move your commander out and grab those mexes, and I think that kind of relies on X Factor having those 2 mexes instead of 3 mexes to start with. So he kind of wanted to move out a little bit sooner, and so he grabbed 2 constructors fast for that. You can think that it's going to leave you a little vulnerable, but on Heartbreak Ridge, it's a pretty long distance to your opponent, so it's not like there's like a huge threat of like ticks and stuff.
That totally makes sense. And X Factor is now streaming out grunts. Yeah, whoa, look at the scouting range too. So we'll see. There is a radar here. So whoops. Modulo Modulo sees at least this first grunt that's coming up. He's going to respond with 3 grunts of his own, and he sees the second. So X Factor knows that at least it's a relatively standard starting position. It's not like he did the weird Teddy high ground up in the top left corner.
Yeah, well, it's Modulo's playing a great game here. Just having that, you can tell he's like been practiced or has practiced this build. He has that good radar timing to see all that stuff. He has a con going up north already. He has a con going down south already, and he just sees everything that's going on. So it's going to be hard for X Factor to find any damage here.
His 1 grunt does come up, but it's going to get surrounded and. Oh, wait, it gets away with 37 health. Okay. And yeah, we see this expanding con that you were talking about going up to the north, and it's going to try to take that patch of 4 and then throw down a bunch of protective LLTs. But X Factor does find these reinforcing grunts. He comes up and he kills a few, and in his own base, he's dropping a construction turret. He is e-stalling pretty hard at the moment with that construction turret.
Yeah, so just looking at like how these 2 play styles line up here, or builds, I guess. X Factor has his commander moving out relatively early, and commanders have 300 build power. So that 300 build power means he can expand rapidly, while also just having enough cons back at base to do stuff. But yeah, the build power is a little bit lower at the base, so it's going to be a little bit harder to get that energy going. Yeah,
and Modulo with that solar income is real excited. With the 3.0 wind. Well, not real excited because he has wind of his own, but he has more B solar. So when the wind drops like this, he is far ahead of X Factor, who is starting to build some solars of his own because he's starting to float a little bit more metal.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things I don't see players do so often is wind dips down and they don't build solar, and then they just lose out because they don't have enough energy to do anything.
And it looks like Modulo has a raid coming up here. And does X Factor not have radar covering the north? Oh, he doesn't. Modulo might be able to sneak. Yeah, Modulo might be able to sneak these grunts in. X Factor. Oh, he didn't go high ground though. He's gonna rush these back to mid, and X Factor is gonna push into Modulo's base and poke a little bit, but Modulo's grunts coming in. They're gonna get stopped by the 4 defensive grunts there, and X Factor's gonna push in, but there's an LLT here, and it's gonna just immediately stun any aggression.
Yeah, so far that was really nice for Modulo. Some solid defense. And yeah, it looks like his 4 grunts are just gonna get out of there.
They came, they saw, they retreated. Oh, but they're gonna get caught a little bit, it seems like.
Yeah, a little bit on the hill there, unfortunately for him.
And they each lose 1 grunt and then just go to reset.
Yep.
Bottom has a slight battle going on, but it looks like Modulo just has more grunts and is going to push him back. And Modulo is now pulling slightly ahead. Metal is dead even, but he's slightly ahead in terms of energy, and he has a bit more BP, which is pretty critical for those bot opens because you need a lot of BP to burn through your metal when you're actually playing full bot.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like X Factor's grunts are going to stop here, and Modulo is going to chase him down and get him killed. And Modulo is going to run into X Factor's commander here, so he knows that his commander is out on the map and is completely exposed.
Yeah, it's completely exposed, but I mean, honestly, it's pretty safe this early on in the game. The guns can be pretty hefty. So this is just like a nice strong position for X Factor to have a commander at.
Wow, and Modulo doing some serious fortification here. He's got the double exploiter, and he's going to drop LLTs to protect it as well.
So Modulo has actually snuck some grunts through. I don't know if it's really going to be enough. I mean, they can potentially take out this LT down here.
Yeah, he gets one max. Oh, this is a nice little split. So he splits.
Oh, he's just going to run past.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Does he make it past? I guess maybe one does. What's behind him?
Yeah, I would think maybe one. But
oh, he's gonna be real disappointing when he gets back there, doesn't see anything. XFactor's gonna contest mid a little bit and keep pushing.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though, like he actually had enough grunts to take down that tower. So I'm a little bit confused by that.
Yeah, I think maybe he thought there were more reinforcing units, and Modulo is gonna push back XFactor from mid. This is interesting. Do we see, so vehicle swap from XFactor, and it's a low ground vehicle lab. Interesting. Normally we see it. Normally see it on the high ground so that they don't struggle right when they're out there. And
yeah, that's one of the benefits of doing the taking the position that Modulo took.
And Modulo is going air, so we're gonna have.
Oh, interesting. He's not even using it.
So this is gonna be vehicle versus air.
Yeah, well, that's like, you know, vehicles don't do so well against air because whistlers are so slow. So it's
Makes
kind
sense.
of, well, slow and expensive.
Modulo.
But yeah, we'll see what XFactor ends up doing once he starts seeing it.
Modulo gonna push in a little bit more here, and no, I think XFactor is gonna push him out. XFactor with his wind, once the wind kicks up high like this, he is really far ahead of Modulo, like 40% ahead when the wind is high, but when the wind's low, Modulo can recover. And a lot of posturing here. Modulo does have res spots behind, which is nice, and I feel like these grunts from XFactor get a little bit more of a surround, so Modulo trades favorably. XFactor is going to have to back off a bit. And whoa, XFactor ate his lab, and he's going amphibious, and we've got salamanders on repeat. Oh, hello.
I'm surprised I haven't seen this sooner on this map. The salamanders are really strong.
Yeah, to put it lightly. And all those dead grunts are gonna get res though. Modulo has full control of this rec field, and there's what, like 10 grunts or so there that he can pick up and then send back in. So I feel like XFactor is in a little bit of a precarious situation.
Yeah, he might have to show those salamanders pretty early.
And XFactor does see the Shuris, so he's gonna be able to respond to them relatively soon, but Shuris are gonna come out and start disabling things. And is Modulo gonna commit here? He does have Shuris, so maybe he wants to try to commit into XFactor's base with the Shuris to back him off, but
I mean, there's plenty of anti-air here now. So I don't think so.
Yeah, Trashers are out. And did Modulo see the... I don't think Modulo has seen the salamander yet, so he might still think he can take this. He does have a massive grunt blob ahead, and salamander's in vision now, so he's gonna get the tier 2 unit alert. And the Shuris, unfortunately, don't do much to the salamanders. There's air supporting it, and they've got 90% emp resist, so you're gonna need a lot of Shuris. Oh my god,
I was gonna say.
Modulo,
look at this, yeah.
Yeah, with the incredible run by. Actually, I don't know, is this worth it? I think this is worth it. Yeah, he's getting a ton of E production. He's running
Picking out the E is definitely worth it.
Oh wait, keep running, Modulo. Yeah, he's running. XFactor's gonna have to pull back, but at the same time, Modulo's gonna commit on the front here, and this salamander and everything else are gonna have to run past. Oh no.
Yeah, I kind of feel like XFactor's overbuilt Trashers too. So there's like a whole bunch of potential for Modulo to like kind of run around and clean up some of those mexes right now.
Yeah, and XFactor definitely feels pretty trapped here. I mean, Modulo is just slamming grunts into his base. Picking off all that E production is really scary. The wind is high, but Modulo is 40% ahead in terms of E production, and this 25 grunt army is going to spill down through the south. Is going to be able to easily pick off this LLT and then try to clean up some of these other mexes that are behind, and that's going to put XFactor even farther behind in terms of metal production, so he's going to get that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what though, Modulo switching in the bombers.
I like that.
Got a few bombers on the field. I mean, yeah, there's anti-air, but bombers can tank some of it. So he might be able to clean up some more of that E and put the pressure on XFactor that way.
Modulo splits that grunt army on bottom. He's going to clean up all those mexes, and then he's going to see this kind of ball of salamanders, and XFactor has just basically moved these salamanders straight towards Modulo's base. I think he might know that he's pretty behind, right? So he might just want to try to all in.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just kind of looking around, seeing what he can get done, knowing that he kind of has a stronger army right now with the salamanders.
Yeah, the salas are able to shred all the grunts that are there. And he's up to 8 salamanders. They've got 27 kills between them, but Modulo...
Yeah, that's quite a few. Well, Modulo's switching into I think salamanders of his own. He's grabbing that amphibious complex too.
Oh yeah, I see it. And he does have the bombing run here, so we've got Brute versus Sala, which actually doesn't go as badly for the Brutes as you would think, but these Salas are going to push, and at the same point, Modulo is coming in for the bombing run. He doesn't have a scout with him, but he did see the air before, so he's going to drop, and he's going to get quite a bit of wind.
I'm surprised he didn't just go straight for the BP, yeah.
Yeah, he sees it and he's coming back. Here we go. Oh no. And he gets
okay.
Oh, yeah, he basically gets all of it and the converters. And he's gonna be able to clean up here. So XFactor knows that this is a dire situation, and he's just yeah, he's just gonna go all in on it. So Salas are running up, but there's brutes, there's a lot of brutes in their way. 32k metal worth of brutes, and he's gonna start bombing the army, and XFactor has to feel like he is in a pretty precarious situation.
Yeah.
And his base is still getting bombed out. Oh man. His commander is in bottom building energy and everything else. He does get he gets 2 Salas and a grunt into the backline. Sala's able to abuse that amphibious move def. So they're going to be able to clean up a bit of the energy, but I don't think it's going to be able to equalize the damage that the bombers and now the grunts that Modulo has in his base have done. Looking back, another Sala gets in, and these 2 Salas are killing a lot of this energy economy. Maybe I spoke too soon. Can XFactor pull this back?
My turn. Very interesting game here.
He sees the amphibious complex too. He knows that Salas are going to be coming out soon. And these
just
poor,
going for a swing.
Yeah, these poor grunts are trying to run these salamanders down, but the Salas just are super hard for the brutes to catch because they can run up the hills and run through all the water.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation. I mean, metal's still pretty even between the two. Modulo is still a little bit ahead on energy, but you know, XFactor has built up like the secondary base at the bottom right.
Yeah,
so this has become, or bottom left, sorry.
Yeah, and he's gonna get an air lab of his own, which is interesting. Do you think, does he want to bomb? Does he want to, what do you think he wants to do here?
I don't know. I mean, I guess he's gonna maybe try to bomb, yeah, just bomb and maybe all in with it if he needs to.
So Modulo knows that there's a bit of stuff in the, also there's just trashers just hanging out.
Yeah, they went for a swim. I mean, they're just chilling.
He does get vision from these though, which is kind of nice. So he sees the amphibious complex and everything else. He can't see that the salamander's being built there. You know what, actually, he could totally put all of them in the middle where the Salas build and then block the building until they're eaten. They would have to be reclaimed.
That's goofy.
So he does know that there is a base in the bottom left. He doesn't know quite how big it is.
I mean, he saw the commander in the middle, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess like you can assume that the commander's probably gone back home to be safe, but okay, it looks like some shards are coming in though. Scoping some stuff out, sees a fighter.
Yeah, he sees, I mean, he sees the commander and everything else, and I don't, can Modulo take this? Those are just LLTs and a comm, right? So maybe he can if Shuris don't come out from XFactor?
Yeah, I mean, he might need to wait for some more units because the guns are pretty strong.
But yeah, I mean, he's gonna keep pushing, keep harassing, and in mid he has another set of salamanders and grunts that are gonna keep pushing. So if he can keep this commander alive, he's gonna be in decent shape, because I think the Sala push mid is gonna be able to do quite a bit of damage. Ooh, but there are a lot of brutes coming, and he needs to be really careful. So
yeah, he needs to be careful, but this is going to come down to the D-guns, right?
Yeah.
Which means XFactor needs that energy back.
Yeah. Oh, this is
He's busy building it up really quickly, but I don't know if it's enough.
All right. I mean, there are 4 or 5 LLTs here. They're getting picked off. He doesn't have Shuris yet.
Yeah, I think the lab's gone at this point.
Yeah, he's starting to run. He's going to try to back off, but he does have a ton of salamanders and grunts in Modulo's base. He's picking off the BP, and those salas aren't going to be able to produce anything else, but his commander is trapped, and there are a lot of units coming at it. He doesn't have energy to D-gun. Oh, no.
Yeah, losing all those solars definitely hurt there.
And, all right, they're coming in. Can we get D-guns off? 80, 72%. He's alive for the time being.
Dodge the shots.
He is, yeah, I mean, he's doing everything he can. And these salamanders in the main base with the grunts are killing all of Modulo's energy economy, and his commander is slightly exposed there. Salas can do decent versus commanders if they can kite. X-Factor cloaks, and he's kind of running and dancing. And... oh
yeah,
man,
more units coming in here.
Oh my god, this is a little more tense than I thought it was going to be. Sal's, no, I think X-Factor, can he get out? 18, 14, 10. Salas are picking him off, and oh, he goes down, but
yeah.
Man,
yeah.
he was clawing back from defeat. That was...
yeah, well, that just shows you, don't give up, don't surrender. Just, you know, like there's ways. It's just, you know, assuming that the game isn't completely over, like it's good to get that skill of like rebuilding and like knowing exactly what to do once you start getting beaten back like that.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
So good.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think he had a real chance for a bit there to actually take that game. So interesting, definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he just like had some solars in the back or something like that, like in his main base that survived. Like maybe he would be able to degun, or maybe he would be able to sit there and cloak and just be like, hey, my commander's not actually here.
Yeah, maybe just hide. I mean, there wasn't radar there that could see him, right? So in terms of this series, this is going to be a 2-1 for Modulo. So X-Factor was able to take a game on Sierra Lada, and then Modulo was able to take 2 games, 1 on Canis and 1 on Hades. So that is the first match of Group B. And we will look forward to some of the other matches, which are coming up soon. We will see you there.